Today I'm celebrating Sem, an incredible artist who actually died a few years ago and whose death occurred without me having any knowledge of it, I'm very sad to say. In these times of social media, if one is not on Facebook, then it's very easy to not learn of somebody's passing over the threshold, and 2 or 3 of the videos that I'm going to record for this Christmas period are of that kind. Sem is a man I owe a very great debt to, and there's so much I wish I could share with him. Sem, I first encountered his work, not the man himself. He was an artist responsible for the most exquisite mandalas that I have ever seen in my life. Huge, vast, intricate, beautifully, lovingly painted with so much symbolism embedded into them. I was lucky enough to see them at Zoo Studios in Lewis when he was based there, and yeah, I was just absolutely blown away by his pieces. Then I got to meet the man and found a very soft, quiet, humble and wise man. A man whose background was in antiquarian books, and he had been sifting through ancient knowledge for a good portion of his life. He had a beautiful sense of humour, was very playful, very understated, and yet he knew the value of his work. And it's one of those sad things where, one of his paintings, I know that his paintings have been sold for the tens of thousands of pounds, and yet he was largely surrounded by people that wouldn't have even been able to put together 1,000 for one of these magnificent pieces. And so much of his life as an artist was spent, I'm not going to say in poverty, but he was clearly not rolling in it. And it's a very difficult thing for an artist to be able to maintain a value on the work that they've created, the hours, the talent, the ingenuity that they know that they've imbued into their work, and yet also meeting their most basic needs. Sem was dearly beloved by the community of people that were around him towards the end of his life, and he really found a place within Zoo Studios, this incredible artist's creative space that reigned for some years on the Phoenix estate in Lewis, which also is sadly gone now. And I've been motivated to record this partly because I never had the opportunity to truly celebrate Sem, but also because I wish to revivify his memory, not that he will ever be forgotten by those people that knew him, but I would also really like to see his work exhibited. I know that from what I understand, most of it is in storage, and it seems to me that it really deserves to be out in the world, being seen by people. I also wanted to record this because I owe a very special note of thanks to Sem. He used to run these sacred geometry courses from Zoo Studios and actually from many other places. And I participated in 2 of his courses, one over a period of a few weeks, that I found absolutely astounding. It's really phenomenal when one explores the relationships of numbers and shapes, these things that some people perceive as having been created by the mind of man. Where does 4 exist in the world? Where's 3? Where's 2? There's often seen as abstract figures and symbols. In fact, in schools, that's the way maths is largely taught, as a collection of it's why people struggle with maths. It's like, what's the point of this? It's like, this is just numbers. It's just like men have invented these and now I've got to add them up. And because of this failure to incorporate sacred geometry in the appreciation of mathematics and art and engineering, most people are left completely alienated from what is actually an extremely tactile, extremely practical, very tangible practice. And when someone really introduces you to the relationships of shapes and how they fit together and how this, one cannot do that for any period of time and not go, oh my goodness, there is a pattern here that is so profound, so deep, that has not been placed onto reality but is embedded within reality. And it's why so many of the greatest artists and philosophers spanning millennia, going right the way back to the ancient Greeks, but also through to Leonardo da Vinci and countless others, there was this appreciation for the fact that there is a language of numbers and shapes that is embedded into nature as we experience it. So Sem, in a way, was, responsible for a significant moment of enlightenment for me, and I know for many others. He was one of those teachers that was so rich in knowledge it was impossible to claw everything that one wanted to know from him. It's even more the pity now that I don't get to share with him some of the incredible revelations that have come since continuing through that journey, encountering Tim Ruth's work, An Explosion of Time, which demonstrates how the modern clock as we know it, with 24 hours and 12 hours and then 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute, these things actually arise from the Fibonacci sequence. Something that almost nobody knows. You can ask AI, you can ask Google, why do we have 60 seconds in a clock, and nobody knows. It's always related to, it might come down to the hexadecimal system of the Babylonians, and people just do not understand that this quite simply arises from the Fibonacci sequence. An Explosion of Time is this incredible piece that demonstrates how that arises. It's a phenomenal thing, and I would so dearly have loved to share it with Sem, for him to see this, because that's the thing with sacred geometry and the language of numbers. The mystery just goes on, and forever we can draw more and more from this particular study. So today I would like to give thanks for the presence of Sem, that lightened so many lives, that enlightened me personally, for the gift of his work, and I really want to see if we can get it out there and see it shared more widely. He was an incredible artist and a great friend to many. Sem.